Welcome to NEXTGames Sortie series. We are now in episode 10 of the series, and the new maps of Sortie have been out now for about 5 days, and I feel I've gotten down a pretty successful farming path for all the items that we need in Sortie. Now this path gets you roughly 6,500 Galli, and chances at 9 cases, which can include earrings, 6 Sapphires, and 3 of the new Starstones that you need to upgrade your MP plus 3 gear. Now my original farming path in Sortie was netting me over 8,000 Galli and 10 chances at cases and Sapphires, so this is a small step down in regards to both of those stats, but in exchange for that, you get chances at 3 Starstones. So I picture soloers using my original solo path for easier runs that grants more chances at earrings and Gallum free, and this is the path they would need to do when they want to have more of a focus on Starstones for the MP plus 3 upgrades. Let's now get into what these new types of runs will look like. Now starting from the entrance, you want to head north to get chest A1 by opening the gate, and then casket A2 by resting on the floor on the other side of it. Now, this is your first chance at a Sapphire and earring. Now, you want to use wide scan to check the area just beyond the gate for Abject Abdella. If not present, you then want to backtrack and check the northern part of that first map, including past the D gate that you're seeing here. Note, anytime you checked beyond a D gate, you also want to be checking for Demizang Deleterious. Now we check behind both D gates that are in the entrance, and then lastly, if we haven't found both NMs by then, we head to the south on this starting map and go through these 2 D gates here to check for both of our NMs. Now by this point, hopefully you've found and killed both Abject Abdella and Demizang Deleterious. Now Abdella will grant you Coffer A, which is your second chance at an earring or Sapphire. Now once the Deleterious NM is dead, you want to quickly pull 3 nearby Farmer to get Coffer D and Chest D3, giving you your third chance at an earring and Sapphire. You now want to head for the original starting device and use it to get to device A. Once at device A, use magic to get chest A1 to spawn, and then also use your wide scan to check for Abdella if you've not yet killed the NM. Then you want to port to device D to drop your wing for chest D2, and then do one more wide scan check for Abdella and Deleterious if you haven't killed both yet. Now we want to head for device B, where we do a hooray for chest B2, and then quickly find and kill the Boon Porksy NM. We then run, and I do mean run, to device C, and on the way, opening gate B1 to trigger casket B2, our 4th chance at an earring or Sapphire. We now should have just entered Zone C, and you must act quickly. You want to quickly pull a course to device C to kill it there for chest C2, and then look for the boot NM either in the course area or the ghost area just beyond them. If the boot NM isn't present in either of those, respawn using device C until you see that boot. Once it appears, kill for Coffer C and Aurum Coffer to give you chances 5 and 6 at an earring or Sapphire. Note the boot objective has been changed with the update last week, and you now have far more time to kill the boot than you did before. Now I'm showing you an example of that during this video, in which I do the exact path that I mention here. I'm able to enter Zone C, pull the course to device C, kill it, open the chest he spawns, then find the boot NM in the furthest sections of the course room and kill it, and I still received the C coffer. Now after you've opened that Aurum coffer that the boot has spawned, you now want to head back to device C. Once at device C, use it to reset foes in area C, and then you will receive chest C5 from clicking on the C Blitzer. You then want to enter the C Blitzer. You should now have roughly 30 minutes left, and it's now time to focus on these new zones. Now, in this first zone, run as quickly as you can through this zone with Sneak is invisible up as you see me doing here. And do not walk in front of any of the Naraka mobs, as I'm told they are true sight like they normally are. Now you're looking for the Blitzer device that will be somewhere in the zone, normally near the end of it, but always past the gate from what I've seen. Now I'm showing my full path through Zone C in this video so that you can get an idea of just what's involved in this process. Now once you find Blitzer C, you want to stand in front of it and targeting it for roughly 30 seconds. Now, I'm not 100% sure that targeting it is necessary, but it does seem to be, as yesterday I tried this trick at the very end of my run without targeting it, and I was unable to trigger that casket. Anyway, after 30 seconds of sitting there and targeting it, you will be rewarded with Casket G1, which may contain an earring or your first chance at a Starstone. Once you've finished opening the casket, use Blitzer C to get back to device C and head for Blitzer A at device A. Now once you're approaching Blitzer A, be sure to make yourself naked and then click on Blitzer A to get chest A5. Now as soon as you enter the next zone, your timer has started. Now what I mean by that is there is a door halfway through this zone, and I use a run to just sit there at that door and time how long it takes to close without interacting with anything else on the floor. It will close exactly 5 minutes after entering Zone E. So I use those 5 minutes to make sure the Blitzer NM isn't in the first section of the map, and if he is, I grab him and pull him past that gate so that it doesn't close with me on the other side. If it does close with you on the initial side of the gate, you're going to have to kill all 6 of the nasty NMs that spawn, which solo you sadly aren't going to be able to do with the time you have remaining. So it's critical that you get past that gate. Now once on the other side of the gate, kill the Blitzer NM. Now upon defeat, you will get another chance at a Starstone or earring. Now I've not personally seen it drop from this NM, but others have reported it, so know that there may be another mechanic involved in triggering this drop to occur, but it is at least possible. Regardless, you're going to get 435 Galli free for killing him, which is a nice boost. Now once he's dead, you only have one thing left to do, and that is to kill 12 mobs in the zone. Now sadly, this is the most challenging part of this run, and those 12 kills would normally take me about 22 minutes. They're against 6 slimes, which are brutal to your trust, and 6 flan, which are easy but annoying when they lock you in a set of gear for 30 to 45 seconds. Now I use 2-step light skill chains and dual magic burst to get through these as quickly as possible, and I normally finish the run with just a few minutes remaining when Casket E2 spawns after killing all 12 of these mobs. This is our third and final chance at an earring or Starstone. And that brings us through the end of the run. Now I've done this 3 days in a row now with just a few minutes left on each of those days. It's netted me 2 Starstones so far, so it's definitely a viable strategy for obtaining them. I also have 2 final things that I want to share that are clarifications from my last video. The first is that it looks like to get Sheet B, you don't need to run all the way from the start of the Sortie map. Instead, you can actually get to device B from device A. So there is a small shortcut that you can do there to get your initial Sheet B. I am also happy to report that in the last 24 hours it seems people have finally figured out how to get Sheet B. Sadly, it looks like it's done by killing all of the Farmer in Zone D, and then clicking on the Zone D Blitzer. Now by my count on the current map, that is a total of 75 Farmer, which sounds like a lot more than there are on the map, so it might be less than that, but even if there's, let's say 50, it's still way too many for a solo player to take out in a single run. So I'm sorry to say that unless it's determined killing a smaller group or subset of these Farmer will still net you Sheet D, soloers are going to be unable to get this Sheet D for some time. Okay, that's going to be about all I have to share that I've learned in this week's runs. I hope you found that rundown helpful. If you're enjoying my content, please be sure to click the subscribe button under the video and the bell icon next to it to be notified when my future videos are released. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Stay safe and stay healthy out there.